Yeah, buddy. Last year, I did it absolutely perfect, so I'm gonna show you guys, once again, how to do this from beginning to end, so pay attention to the details. So this year, I actually brined my turkey. I did not inject it, so I brined it for a day. And so what I'm gonna do is take your turkey, and we're gonna lay it down in water into your boiling pot to make sure it's totally submerged. So you're gonna know that that's how much oil you need to have it totally submerged. So as we can see, we're gonna need a little more. So that right there should do. So now I'm gonna take my turkey out. Now here's another little tip for you. You wanna make sure you cut that neck skin, because when you put this on the fryer and you pull it out of the oil, if that neck skin's down there, it's not gonna let the oil release, and then you just have a big old pot of oil cooking inside your bird, and then you gotta sit there and let it drip for like 5 minutes. I've done that before, so don't do that. All right, so now let's set our bird to the side. I'm gonna get a bunch of paper towels, and I'm gonna dry it off. So before we get our bird prepped, let's go on and get our oil heated up. So we can see where we need our oil line to. I can actually pick a spot right over here where they have the writing. Yeah, I know it's right on that on that third line. So I'm gonna pour the water out. Now this part's also very important. Don't leave water down in your pot. So get all that water out, because water and oil do not mix. So when that starts to heat up, you just hear a bunch of popping because the oil's trying to get rid of the water. We're using straight peanut oil. I'll pour that in. Now another tip for you, don't do what my buddy Joey did when I was down in Miami a couple years ago. You have to put the oil in before you turn the heat on. If you turn the gas on before there's any oil in there, you're gonna burn a hole in the bottom of your aluminum pot. So you must put the oil in first and then light it up. Now you're gonna wanna save this, because when you're done with the oil, you're gonna put it back into here. We're gonna get this rolling. We're gonna get it up to 375. Put a lid on it, put your thermometer down in there. All right, so now we get our bird nice and dried off. Then we're gonna hit it with some oil as a binder. Dano's Primo, that's right. I know I made it for steaks, but it's phenomenal on chicken. So today we're gonna try it on a deep fried turkey. I know it's gonna be good. So I'm pretty sure we'll end up using this whole bottle. And I'm just gonna generously coat. And you can see all the colorful flavors in there. Look at the black pepper, it's black garlic, black sesame seeds, black cumin, poppy seeds. There's nothing like this, you guys. Real black salt. So we're just gonna give a heavy coating all over this bird and the little armpits. Now remember, I told you guys earlier that I'm not using an injector this time. The last couple years I've injected it with the Cajun butter. This year we brined it, so it's gonna be nice and juicy. So we're just gonna get this thing covered, and all that seasoning, you know, a lot of it will come off as it's cooking, but that flavor in the oil is what's gonna make this. Just get it nice and covered. Flip it over. We're even gonna go in the cavity just like that. Get it everywhere. A little more binder on there. We'll cover that bird, baby. All right, now you need one of these, and you're also gonna make sure you have one of those so you can slowly drop it in. So we're simply gonna take our turkey with the legs pointing up. We're gonna put it right on that hook, just like that. So now this bad boy's ready to fry, and we will drop it in slowly once we get to 375, just like that. Now let's make sure we get this coated. So we forgot to hit the record button when we dropped it in the fryer. So I made this little illustration for you. So basically, the first thing you want to do when you drop your turkey into the fryer is, first thing, you want to cut the fire. Turn the fire off, because if there's no fire, there's no chance of it bubbling over and catching fire and everything flaming up and your house catching on fire. So you turn the flame off, drop the turkey in, and then you can turn the flame back on once you have your lid on and the bubbles are contained. Oh, and when I say drop your turkey in, slowly release your turkey. All right, so we just put our lid back on, and notice that oil is popping everywhere. Look, it's on the ground. That's 100% the reason why you cut the flame off. But now we can see that we're at like 325, but we want to be at 350. So now is the safe time to turn the fire back on. We'll get it up to 350 and we'll maintain that for about 40 to 45 minutes. All right, y'all, check it out. It's been exactly 8 minutes. It's boiling. We got it on high. We put the lid back on immediately, turned the flame back on once we got the bird in there, and it's only at 300 degrees. So just so y'all know, when you drop that in, it was at 380. When you drop it in, that temperature is going to reduce significantly. So I immediately turned the gas back on high, and we're at 300, trying to build back up to that 350. So it's going to be all good. All right, my friends, it's time. It's been exactly 40 minutes. It's a 12-pound bird. I don't know, you do the math. But that bad boy is ready. You can see we got some oil in these little pockets right here. I'm gonna take it over, put it in our little foil tray. Still bubbling, got the little oil in there. Here, we'll do this. Dump that out. There we go. Now, we're gonna let that rest for about an hour, and then we're gonna cut into it. All right, my friends, we let it sit for over an hour. We got kind of distracted. We put a little butter on it. We made it look really pretty. Now it's time to cut into this thing and see what it looks like. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the wing. So we're just gonna hyperextend that thing right off there. Now we're gonna cut down through the leg and go down into the thigh joint. And you can kind of just roll it off just like this. Look how tender that is. So this is so tender, you guys. I'm literally just pulling that right apart. Gonna hyperextend this other wing off just like that. I like to keep the little drummets on there because it actually gives your chicken, your bird some stability. So we're gonna cut right there. Hold on, we need to do one thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Primo? Wow. All right, peel this back. Look at how juicy that is. Look, I'm literally, no knife needed. Pulling that right off there. All right, now it's time to go into the breast. Go right down the side of the keel bone. Down here about the wishbone. Kind of roll it off. All right. This was not a very big bird. I said it was 12 pounds. I think it may have been more like 10. That's why I pulled it out when I did. I was gonna go 45 minutes, but then I kind of realized it wasn't that big. But I brined it, and I'm pretty sure this bird is still juicy. Even after sitting for an hour and a half. Still got the juices in there. Get a bite. I'll get some of the skin. That was immediate. Punch you in the mouth flavor right there. That's insanely good. Super tender. Better than when I do the injection. This is seriously only my first bite, and I would highly recommend doing the brine before the injection. So let's get a bite of this thigh meat. Oh yeah. I'll get some of the skin. 100% winner for dinner. This is a 10 out of 10, and I'd do it again. I hope y'all enjoy. Like I said, share this with someone you love. Yum yum, get you some. That is one of the best birds I've ever had. We'll see you next time, my friends. Keep sprinkling.